Is not going to fuck with us today. Hello and welcome to the Spiritual Sisters podcast. This is Nichole Christine.
This is Gabrielle Celeste. Hello and welcome, everyone. Happy Mercury retrograde. Said no one ever.
At time of recording, it's happy super blue moon.
We're in that window.
We went to go look at it last night, and because I was telling my husband, oh, it's the super blue moon, I'm going to go meditate and whatever. I was doing a full moon release ceremony that Kristen from Soulshine Holistic Healing put on. So I was doing the replay when I got home. Shout out Kristen. And my husband's like, can you see it? Like, should we go look at it? And because I was like, it's not going to happen again for another 14 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe. Yeah, let's go look. So we went outside and we saw it. And then there was a lady there and she was taking pictures. And then she walked over to us. She's like, oh, can you see it? And then she showed me her picture of the moon. She's like, yeah, look, it's right there. And I didn't have the heart to tell her that that was just the like reflection from her light, that it wasn't the actual blue moon. She just caught like a reflection because it was like the moon and then like a little dot under it. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. But I didn't want to tell her.
Aww.
So anyway, that was that. So happy super moon, blue moon?
Blue moon, in Pisces.
Which still confused me because then it was the full moon last night, but tonight's the actual like 100% super moon, I think. So I don't know how that thing works.
Yeah, I don't know what app you were like referencing because like the moon, it changes
signs. My like moon phase app that I.
Well,
anyway,
we're in that window, so it's a good time to go manifest. But also, this is because it's in Pisces and that's the last sign of the zodiac. It's indicative of like endings and like rebirth, and I feel like that's really on par with the astrology for this last month. At the time of recording, we're recording on the last day of August, and honestly, like, I don't know how you felt about August, but like I feel like it just dragged, and not even like in terms of time, but like I feel like I got dragged, like with all of the retrograde energy, you know.
August has been a little rough, for
really
sure.
Has been. Fucking. So I think I hate Leo season, you guys. I think it's official. Not just Leo men. I think I hate Leo season 2.
Fuck Leo men.
Shout out to the Leo King, okay?
Shout out to the Leo men listening.
Yeah.
It's not a personal thing, guys. It's just, Anyway, real quick, I was talking to Bestie today, and she was kind of giving me a little bit of shit. She was saying...
Is this Libra Bestie?
Yeah. She was like... First of all, now I gotta wait a whole nother week before I get to talk to you. That's how she called me. I was like, oh, I heard there's these things called phones. They like help people connect. So she called me this morning. So we were on the phone for, hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. Because, we don't know how to shut the fuck up when we're together.
That's a good amount of time. You guys really needed to catch up on the phone, not just over a podcast.
So she was saying, you talked so much shit about me forever. She goes, and who's all over the place now? And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, you're all over the place in the podcast. You're always like this and that and question. And I was just like,
she's not wrong, actually. She's not wrong.
So she called me out. So
we love
sorry,
her.
guys. That has been brought to my attention. The second thing is, she was like, I have a complaint to make about the podcast because... She's like, every time you guys talk about YouTube, I go on YouTube because I want to see the faces. I want to see everything. And the episodes are not up there. And I looked and there was like 2, 5, 8, 22. Like, what the fuck? So I said, you need to take that up with our other sister. So anyway, she might be submitting a formal complaint. She wants to speak to the manager.
We'll hit up Brianna because we can share her name now and let her know.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, talk to Brianna. Talk to Brianna about it.
Yeah.
So, Brianna, if you're listening, Bestie would like you to get on top of it.
Thank you.
That is all. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, so this is the part where you ask me how I'm doing.
Oh, how are you? we don't have a lot of time. That wasn't really like a check-in, but I guess it was. But yeah, how are you?
I'm okay. I got dragged in August, you guys, but I realized what the point of the purpose. I was gonna say point of contention /purpose of my ego death was, and I realized it was all of the work that I wasn't ready to do at the beginning of the year with respect to my inner child. Then I went kind of down this rabbit hole, and I was like, I don't think anyone makes it out of childhood unscathed in some way.
Fuck
yeah,
no.
I'm pretty sure everyone has like inner child work to do. Yep. But because the inner child pretty much lies within like the root chakra, it's controlling my solar
Everything
plexus.
else.
Yeah, and I'm just like, motherfucker. So got down to the root of it. I'm pretty proud of that.
Thanks, parents, for the trauma. Not just like our parent, like all parents, right? All like no matter how great of a parent you are, you're gonna fuck up your kids. Like it's just gonna happen.
I think I remember you even saying that, like as you came out of like schooling and education, you're just like, everyone fucks up their kids in some way, and I'm just like, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, there was that joke. Remember that girl from the movie Precious?
Yes, I do.
Gabrielle Sidibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was on like Chelsea Lately or something a long time ago when she was blowing up. And she was saying how she studied psychology in school and how her, what she learned in all that time was it's all your mother's fault. So you spend all these years in school studying psychology just to learn that it's all your mother's fault. No matter how great of a mother you have. You can have the best mother in the world. She's still going to fuck you up. So,
well then, okay, not because I want to spend too much time on that, but think about it. And I've said this before on the podcast. When you get pregnant, your first home is the womb. So, like, why wouldn't you want to address everything going on within your womb to make sure you're having healthy cycles, to make sure you cleared out energy from previous partners that may have not been the most energetically healthy exchange, I guess. And all of that starts coming into play. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have so much work to do. Just because I want to know that I did all that I could before I go into that season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
anyway, speaking of season, we're 1 month away from spooky season. We have so many fun things planned. Shout out to our friends. I was going to go into the podcast name and not do their names. Shout out to Katie and Kelly from All Things Outrageously Dark, Scary, Beautiful, and Totally True. I said that in one breath, ladies.
Hey.
I didn't have to take many deep breaths in between. And then shout out to Ryan and Scott from Beyond the Shadows. I think we're going to do some cool collabs for spooky season, and that's all I'm going to say because they haven't been set in stone. But fingers crossed.
They're going to be good.
Yeah.
So, one thing I wanted to add, just because I had it in my notes, I'm like, yeah, we're going to cover this. I'm restructuring my business now too, you guys. And Nichole, I'm going to drop you. I'm sorry, putting you on the spot. Edit that. She's starting her business, everyone.
It's not official.
She's starting it. She's doing it.
Okay, guys, if anyone is interested, slide into the DMs. If you yourself want a reading, I'm going to be doing some practice readings just for free because I don't feel like I want to charge yet. Mm-hmm. So anyway, go ahead and do that.
So proud of you. This was your August. That was your takeaway from August, remember?
Oh, fuck August.
Seriously. So, yeah, restructure my business, and I kind of want to get out of doing one-to-one readings by the time 2025 hits, so we'll see where that goes. Anyways, what are we talking about today, Nichole?
I don't know. I'm just a bystander today. I'm just the audience. What are we talking about today, sister?
We're talking about numerology, and let me just say, we were planning this one out, right? We're looking at the dates, like what we're dropping, because we have some really cool guests coming on soon. I feel like all of our guests are cool, and just they are, and I'm like so grateful to be friends with them and just to like know them. I'm like, our friends are so cool.
We have so many friends that just have open invitations, like, hey, whenever you're ready, just let us know, and we'll get you in there.
Yeah, and Nichole was like, "Who's a numerology expert?" I was like, "It's me. I am me."
Sure.
Oh, guys.
Like, how much of an expert are you on a scale of like 0 to 100%?
I mean, there's always work to do, so I'd give myself like a 7.58 for sure. Because
I said, well, first of all, you're fucking up the numerology. I said 0 to 100%, and then you gave me 7.58 out of 10.
No, I heard
different scales.
I heard that, but I was like, no, I don't want to give her that. I'll do the numbers.
So 75%?
Yeah, 75.
You guys, I don't know. I don't know how expert this expert is, but
I'll remember that the next time. I'll remember that the next time you want me to look at your chart, Nichole.
No, I'm going to take notes so I can start learning how to do it myself. All right.
I love it.
We're 10 minutes in. Let's go.
What is numerology? What do you know about it? What do you know about
I know that when we were trying to come up with our podcast name, you were saying, oh, we got to look at the numerology for this. And so a lot of things went back to numerology. And then when we were going to change it, you had to look at the numerology, and you did it really fast. And I know I've tried to learn it before, and I don't know what it is, but I know that there are certain, I just know that there's numbers. I don't know what the numbers mean. I just know that everything has a number attached to it. That's all I know.
Do you remember the day that we cast and came up with the business and cast the chart for the Spiritual Sisters podcast?
No, but we also didn't name it the Spiritual Sisters podcast. We took out the word podcast for possible future branding.
So the idea was chatted about, kind of birthed. We were like ping-ponging after Nichole's reading in December, I want to say, of last year. But we really got serious about it on January 11th of this year, so 1/1/1. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I thought that was fun because 1/1/1 is new beginnings. It's the innovator. It's
I love that.
Kind of the start of the cycle. So yeah. So anyways, okay. So numerology is based on the school of thought that the numbers that appear in our lives, such as those attached to the date of our birth, month, day, year, even where we live, there's the numerology of like the address of your home. The numerology of your name, and that's like with the numbers associated within the letters of your given birth name, and we'll get there. That they're not random or meaningless, that instead these numbers hold significance and information. And I take numbers pretty seriously. I know you do, Nichole, and if you look at the logo of our podcast, it's actually 22/Cancer zodiac symbol, and you got married on the 22nd, were born on the 22nd, etc., right? And 22 is a master number. It's a world point in astrology. So things that hold that vibration of 22 are of great significance.
Well, I got married on April 22nd of 22. And in my head, there's just twos everywhere because if you cut 4 in half, you get 2 + 2. So there's just twos everywhere.
Well, it's fun to also note that 2 and 2 add up to the 4, and 4 is the master builder. So we are technically master builders, Nichole, because we're born on the 22nd. And that makes a lot of sense because the things that we do when we create, we do build them up in a systematic way. Is it systemic? No, systematic. Anyways, it is a system, numerology, that is used to interpret the significance of numbers that are specific to individuals, believing that they can provide insights into a person's character, into their path in this lifetime, and even the future events that are to occur for that specific individual. Go ahead.
Are you going to get into, because I think there's different kinds of numbers, right? There's like life path number. There's something, you're going to talk about those?
Yep. I'm going to talk about the main ones because there's a couple, but we're going to get into the most important ones.
Okay.
So, obviously, asshole scholars like me 10 years ago when I considered getting my PhD consider this a pseudoscience, and that's because they consider it to lack empirical scientific support, which I'm like, all right, whatever, but I don't think you can deny, especially as you're having your spiritual awakening, you're like, I fucking just saw 222 3 times in the period of 5 minutes. What the fuck is going on? Because that's literally like the first thing that I hear from people when they're like, yeah, I just saw this. It happened nonstop. I'm like, yeah, it's starting. Like the door is opening.
Have we ever talked about, I don't know if we mentioned it on the show before, but for me, when I kind of started my spiritual awakening, but then I stopped, it was prompted because I kept waking up. It was like 3 nights in a row. Or mornings in a row. I kept waking up at 5:55. 5:55. 5, and I was like, what the fuck? Why do I keep waking up at 5:55? And I remember someone telling me, oh, those are like probably your guides trying to connect with you. And that was kind of what started me on that path, and that's kind of been the OG number for me.
I mean, even though we're into this world and we're on this path, like we're in it, it still kind of fucks me up when I'm waking up at 2:22 in the morning, 3:3. I'm like, fuck, like not right now, you guys. Like, so especially during the witching hour, which is between 3 to 4, guys. So anyways, numerology, you can use it to work out the relevance of your birth date and your birth name at birth. So your legal name at birth that's on your birth certificate, because there's this ideology that your soul has actually chosen its name before it's incarnated, believe it or not. And then numerology can also give insight into your character and what your key motivators are. And you can also use it to interpret and better understand key relationships, whether intimate or not. And it can also help to provide guidance on your life's purpose and future opportunities, which is how I usually like to use numerology, at least with respect to my practice. So, I wanted to remind you, I have a question. Speaking of December, now that I think back on it, like December 22 was really interesting just because I really feel like that was like the start of, you're like, all right, I'm committing to this work. So I can't wait to see where we're at, like in December of 23, just to do like a year's reflection.
It was December, huh? I was thinking that was January, but you're right, it was December.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when we went to Barnes & Noble, we had that day where we just kind of like,
oh, that was so fun.
Right? Like we don't do enough of that in our schedules. We need to be better about that. But we went to Barnes & Noble. And we went to the metaphysical section, and I was like, Nichole, like, this is the only book that's there. It's on numerology. And I kept going back and forth. It was either that or the Akashic Records. And I felt really, like, weirdly drawn to it. And obviously there's, like, no coincidences, but that book literally almost, like, changed the game for me with respect to numerology, because that book is literally, like, singly, like, it's printed, like, there's no additional copies that I can find out there. Like, it's not even in print anymore.
Why didn't you just buy both of them?
No, I did. I
okay. Both. I was like, I would have just bought both. Like, I'm horrible. I buy so many books at once, and then I just never read them.
Yeah, you have like 10 on deck right now, right?
I have so many.
Yeah.
I got like 3 more.
Yeah. Well, I just also want to point out that this is month 9 of you really be like in the work, like nonstop. And 9 is actually like one of those numbers that's considered to be the end of a cycle, which makes a lot of sense for you because you're officially launching your readings next month, which is the start of a new cycle for you. There's different.
Well, I don't know if I'm officially launching them or if I'm just officially launching more practice. Because I don't know if I'm going to do paid readings yet. Not in September? Maybe I will.
September. It's your money month, so you should. Looking out for you.
Okay.
It's our money month actually because we're born on the same birthday, so we have the same numerology.
Of course, with the exception.
Right? It's with the exception of our birth names, obviously. So there's different types of numerology, guys. I'm gonna fuck this up. It's Chaldean. CHA.
I'm not the expert.
I don't study that one. I just know
I'm starting to question if you are too.
Don't hate, Nichole. There's Kabbalah, there's Tamil, and then there's Western and Pythagorean, and I study Pythagorean.
Kabbalah, like the red bracelets?
Yeah.
That's numerology, or that's something else?
It's a type of numerology, but Kabbalah is its own religion.
Okay.
Yeah. So Pythagoras, not much history, but something just to like reflect back on so we can add some context to it. He founded the mystery school of Crotona in 529 BC, and his system of Pythagorean numerology is still studied today. Numerology is based on the premise that every significant number in a person's life connects to a subtle vibration that expresses itself in certain patterns. So, for example, we're born on June 22nd, 22. We do see 22s quite often, and they have significance in our life. So that's one example. Yeah, your numbers are, such as like birth dates, are reduced to single numbers, and that single number basically allows the analysis of character and personality traits that can be found as intriguing. And yes.
Sorry, finish?
They're found as intriguing and just like what I was saying, like the characteristics that applied to that specific individual.
Okay. Are you going to walk us through how we do that? Because I think that'd be really helpful. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to attempt to. I'm like such a visual person, so like I actually like see and I read in pictures. So for me to explain it, I'm going to give it my best shot, guys. So types of numbers and what they are. There is the life path number. There is the personal year number. There's the life destiny number. And there's the soul number. Those, I think, are the top 4 most important, although there are different numbers out there that you can look into. But I think for the purposes of people doing and accomplishing what they're supposed to do and meeting their soul contracts in this lifetime, knowing those four is sufficient. So the life path number, Nichole, that is the summation of numbers added in your birth day, month, and year. So 622, I'm not going to say your year. And
I'm sure people figured it out. Okay, so 6 plus 2 plus 2
plus the
plus
numbers
my
in the
year.
year. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's, I'll add them all together and then reduce that to a single digit. That's your life path number. And the idea of the life path number, and sometimes people don't really like resonate with this, and we'll get to why that is because they're actually, your life path number is that you've already been given the gifts and mastered the essence of what it is to have that as a life path in this lifetime from a previous lifetime. So I'm a life path 4.
I'm a life path 4 too, right?
I don't know. It's a different year. We're off, but we're 9 years apart, so it might be the same number.
Let me do yours real quick.
I meant to run your numerology before, but you were supposed to remind me. You had a hard day though, so it's
fine. We're 9 years apart, so
yeah.
we were born in. Okay, I'm bad with years. Okay, so hold on. 10. Yeah, same.
It's because we're 9 years apart, so that makes sense because the cycle starts. So numerology, at least in the Pythagorean theory, it works on cycles of 9. So that leads me into the personal year number. So personal year, the way to get this is you add the month and the day. So for us, that would be June 22nd. So that would be 6 plus 2 plus 2, which is 10, but you drop the 0 in this instance, so that's a 1. And then you add that to the calendar year. So we are in a calendar year 7. So because you're adding the 2, the 0, the 2, and the 3. Mm-hmm. So you take that 1 and you add it to the 7, and that gives us a personal year 8. So the personal year 8, which we're going to get into all of the numbers, which actually I really wanted to talk. I'm glad we're talking about this right now because I was like, fuck, we are really living what it means to be a personal year 8.
Is that good or bad?
No, it's bomb. It's bomb.
It didn't feel bomb today.
No, it didn't, but that's the shadow side of the 8, which we're going to get to. Mm. So the 8 is the year of like power, success. You can make more money. You can find new jobs. You can move into a new home, which is all kind of themes that you and I have personally been seeing play out throughout this year. But the shadow side of the 8 is because you're experiencing prosperity in other areas of your life. You're grinding. You're getting shit done. The shadow side of the 8 is your health. And me personally, like, I've done a lot of sacral work and like been learning a lot about just reproduction in general. I'm like, fuck, it really has been that. And like, I feel like I've been teetering burnout and fatigue, but managing it here and there. And I know I'm going to have to take like December off to just chill. At least that's my intention right now. But I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The shadow side of the 8 is that. And the power, I mean, the light side is just all the success that you can really attain.
Yeah. I haven't shared it yet because she didn't know, but I did get offered a new job that is supposed to start next month, which is going to be amazing once it gets going because it's going to be a school schedule. It's going to be a lot of time off with my husband and my son, and it's going to be a lot more money. So
there you go. That's an 8-year baby. So there's actually, which I wasn't going to cover, but since we're literally coming up on it, and this episode's going to drop in our month 8, so then you can get as specific and individual as like months and certain days of the weeks and even weeks in general. In September, for you and me, is a personal 8-year, and it's a personal 8 month. So I'm really curious to see, because I've been looking for a new job as well, if I end up finding that new job in September, if I'm going to make more money in my business, and just like really being at the top of my game with respect to where I'm at, just in like this season of life running my own thing. So September should be good, hopefully good for us. Yeah.
So you told us how to do the personal year month plus date plus the calendar year. So we did that, right? 6 plus 2 plus 2
is a 1.
is 1 plus 2023. So that gave us 7, right? 7 plus the 1. So that's 8. So how would someone figure out their personal month?
So January is a 1. February is a 2. March is a 3, and you get the pattern that I'm going at, right? So once you calculate your personal year, so you and I know that we're in an 8, right?
Okay, so we're in 8.
So January is a 1. We add that 8 to the 1. That makes January a 9 for us. Then the cycle starts over because the numbers work between 1 to 9. So
so you would have to add. So you get 8. You would have to add 1
for January.
Okay, right. So if we're in September, then we would add 9.
Let me count the months. Yeah.
It's the 9th month, so that would give us 17. So 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking, so if people wanted to figure out, like,
how to do it.
So then the next one would probably be a 9, I'm guessing, right? Or is it different because now it's 10, so it's back to 1 because you're dropping the 0 in like October?
So the cheat way that I like to see it is January, February, March. They're always going to have the same numbers as October, November, December when it comes to personal months. So it would be a 9 for us because you have to count through 9s. Does that make sense? I'm doing the math. I can see it.
Oh, yeah, because you're dropping the 0, so then it's 8 plus 1. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So another way to think about this is that the collective, the world at hand, at large, I should say, they're living in a 7-year, right? We're in a personal month 8. So when we go into September, the collective is experiencing a universal month 7. So everyone's experiencing 7-month energy. But you and I, alongside feeling that 7-month energy, our personal month is going to be an 8, which is always going to be 1 year, 1 number ahead of the collective year. So it's kind of like how I make sense of it in my brain. Hopefully that makes sense as I was explaining it.
Okay. And then, so then what about the life destiny number? How do you calculate the life destiny number?
So we've reviewed the life path number. We've reviewed the personal, the life destiny number. This is also known as the destiny number. This is the summation of numbers assigned to the letters of your full legal name at birth.
Oh, fuck.
So that's too complicated. We're not going to do that, right?
But I think we should do a very simple explanation with maybe the word or maybe the names, like John Doe, right? Very simple letters.
I'm looking up because I knew this was going to come up. You guys, I have a little cheat sheet. No, that's fine. But I have it. I got it. All right. So everyone letter has a number assigned to it, right? So a J, Nichole, is going to be a 1. O is going to be a 6. H is going to be an 8. N is going to be a 5. And then we have Doe, which is D, so the D is a 4. O is a 6, and E is a 5. And
if I remember correctly, you start at the alphabet.
Correct.
And A is 1, 2 is B, up until you get to 9, right?
Correct.
And then you start over again at 1.
So it'll so 1 through the first set of 1 through 9, so that covers letters A through I. The second set of 1 through 9 covers J through R. And the third set of 1 through 9 covers letters S through Z. So what does John Doe come out to?
Okay, well, question. Do I need to separate them? Or no, because it's a summation of the whole name, right? Whole name. Okay. Yeah. So if John is 20, then Doe would be 24, 30, 35, 3 plus 5.
Is that an 8?
8.
That's a power name. So this is the type of shit I think about, you guys. I'm like, okay, my kids, I'm obviously going to be looking at their astrology. I'm obviously going to be looking at I can't control the dates that they're born unless it's like C-section, but there's a lot of like actual planned C-sections, which are a whole nother conversation. But I think about it, I'm like, I want to give them powerful names because I want them to succeed and thrive in life. So I think about this shit all the time. I'm like, what are my kids' names going to be? What was the name of my business going to be? What, like all of that. What was the name of the podcast going to be? I was looking at all of these numbers, and there's a system you can do. You can type it in pretty easily and online and just like look up like destiny numbers because that's important to me and I want them to succeed. And everyone should think this way.
Okay. And then what about soul?
The
Everybody
soul
should
number.
not. You would just like everybody too. Let's reframe that like I would be doing in therapy.
I would love for everyone to thrive using those modalities so they can learn more about themselves and everyone can then succeed as best as they can. Because they know themselves as best as they can. And I feel
much
like these
better
tools
than
allow
they should.
that. You have been so mean to me lately. Just wait. Coming back. And it's good. And I'm gonna bite, and you're not gonna like it because that's what happens.
Oh, I fucking bite harder, and
so you think, Nichole. Do we want to? No, we're not going there.
Where did you learn how to bite, Gabby?
I was born this way. Okay, triple water sign, honey.
You stole your whole essence from me. So, anyway, okay, soul number.
Okay,
I love you.
I love you too, always and forever. Everyone sees like the dynamic, but honestly, guys, it's real love. We agreed to do this life together. Soul number. So the soul number, this one's kind of tricky. This is like once you get the life destiny number down and you understand like the numbers and the cycles for the letters between 1 to 9 and so forth. The soul number is when you add up all the numbers associated to the vowels in your legal birth name. By the way, what are the vowels, Nicole? Just a quick test.
A-E-I-O-U.
And sometimes Y. Right?
Mm.
Do you count that? I go back and forth about that one.
No. Did they start teaching that? Is that like
that's what I learned.
Teaching that as time went by? Like now they're teaching Common Core math. Like apparently kids don't carry the 1 anymore when they're doing addition.
And then kids don't know how to write in cursive anymore.
Yeah, kids don't know how to use yeah, they don't know what cursive is.
I actually only write in cursive. I don't really even know penmanship.
You have like the worst.
I have serial
killer handwriting. It's fucking awful. I wonder what a handwriting expert, how they would analyze your handwriting.
Because there's like people that do that shit.
Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. If anybody knows any handwriting experts, let us know because Gabby's handwriting is the worst.
You know what? I have worked on it. Do you remember you gave me that gift? Because I would have to write on. Yeah, I'd have to write. So back in the day, you guys, I used to teach. Actually, it wasn't that long ago. I used to teach fitness classes because I have my CPT, and I'd have to write out on the board like what the exercises were. And believe it or not, Nichole, I actually got a lot of compliments. So
wow,
the gift paid off. It was like, but that was actually something I really wanted to do during COVID was actually learn like calligraphy.
Calligraphy, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's a lost art. So
for sure. I mean, yeah, if kids don't even know cursive, you probably say calligraphy and they're like, huh?
I've even heard that like children today don't know how to use an encyclopedia and a dictionary.
Yeah, they wouldn't know how to go to a library and look shit up in Encyclopedia Britannica like we did.
So like Baby J, he can't. We got to teach him these skill sets.
Yeah, he just Googles everything.
Oh,
Siri? Hey, Siri?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so all the vowels in your name.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you add them all together, and that's the soul number. And the soul number.
Same thing. Sorry, so same thing for the vowel. So A is still going to be 1, E is going to be 5, I is whatever it is. Okay, so those numbers don't change for the vowel.
Just for fun, I is going to be a 9, O is going to be a 6, a U is going to be a 3. Oh, and a Y, if you count it, is a 7.
So I guess, I mean, I wonder if that varies from numerology, school of thought. Yeah, from type to type. If some people say Y, some people don't say Y.
Michelle, I was talking to Michelle the other day because she was telling me she had worked with a healer that used, I'm going to fuck it up, Chaldean. I need to ask Google how to pronounce that.
Phonetically.
Yeah, phonetically. And I'm going to pull up my text message to her, but she was explaining to me that the difference is that uses names and their definitions. Like, I guess they really focus on that in that particular school of thoughts, because they would use that to do like predictive work. But I actually don't really use numerology for predictive work. I just rely on the astrology for that. So I'd be really curious as to how people do that.
Okay, tell me again. A is 1. E is 5. Was I 6 or O was something was 6?
O was 6, I is 9, and E was 3.
Okay. So vowels plus what?
We add all the vowels together.
Just the vowels?
Yes, just the vowels.
Oh, okay. So, shit. What vowels do I have in my name?
Your full legal birth name. And so
birth name, not current name?
No. Okay. But the vibration when you get married does change. So what you have at birth is really like what you consider your life destiny number. However, for females that change their names, or even males, people do that too. It kind of goes back to the idea that, think about like Marilyn Monroe, right? Her name wasn't Marilyn Monroe, but they knew that certain stage names would work better for their image and likeness. And so they use certain names that are front facing, they know are going to be for their benefits in their line of work. So same idea when you get married, like certain names, depending on if you get married, you decide to change your name or whatever, you just decide to change your name. Sometimes it serves you better than your actual name at birth. And then you, at that time, come to embody the essence of that number and use it for, whatever your intention is.
I don't remember my numbers, but I remember you said they were good.
Yeah, your numbers got better when you got married. Which makes a lot of sense.
Don't tell my husband that. He'll be like, well, of course they did.
But it actually makes a lot of sense because, without saying too much, your unionship actually betters you all around, but especially financially. Not that you got married for money, but...
Married for love, everybody.
She did.
Okay, so 7.
Wait. But I need to say what the soul number is.
Oh, sorry. What is it?
I know, right?
I was just figuring out what it was.
The soul number is indicative of needs or desires that might not be so readily or easily recognizable. And apparently the soul number exists on a spiritual level. It's almost like a subconscious level that you don't really even recognize is there until like you kind of become enlightened and awoken. Which word is it, Nichole? Is Mercury retrograde?
I don't know. I have such a hard time with that word, and I'm still really traumatized. When I was in slow reading method, we were doing a reading, and I was the message was like she needs to continue to like do the work to awaken, right? Like she's already doing it, right? So like the message was, yeah, she's on the path. She just needs to keep doing it, right? So like, okay, cool. Like that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to say it, and I was like, oh, like you need to like wake up, but like it wasn't like you need to wake up. It was like you're already doing it. Just keep doing it. And I didn't know what the right word was. Right? Is it continue to awaken? Like I feel very.
But you know what though? Like that's actually something I noticed. I posted a story the other day and I misspelled, but I was like, there's already been like 100 people that have looked at it. I'm not fucking reposting that story because I misspelled a word. But like not using the right words, not spelling things correctly, not articulating myself correctly, and I know it's the same for Nichole, it irritates me like no one's business. And that's just the grammar freak in me.
Yes. Like I need to your and your have to be spelled correctly. Gosh. There, and there.
Right.
Like that is one of my biggest pet peeves.
Do you remember when before your husband I'm pretty sure it was baby daddy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's great at grammar and spelling. Shout out. He is amazing at it.
But you were like, I like that he knows how to use these.
I love that he knows how to use all 3 of those correctly.
And I kind of judged guys. I know you did. Like if they didn't know how to
fucking 100%. 100%. Especially, so right, my son's dad, he's a college graduate. He's educated, so he like had to.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when somebody is college educated, and we know how many fucking papers you have to do in college, and it's like, well, how'd you How'd you get by? Like the professors just don't fucking care? They don't knock off points? I don't know.
I was sending this like last like sayonara motherfucker, never gonna talk to you again. You know who I'm talking about. And I was so mad. I remember when I was sending this text out and I was just like in my feelings. And I thought back to it because I deleted it and I was like, motherfucker, I misspelled. I think it was like two or there or your.
Oh, that's the other one, right? 2, 2, and 2. T-O, T-W-O, T-O-O. Very different.
I was just like, yeah, but like thinking back on it, like final words, never gonna fucking speak to you again. P.S. If you ever listen to this, fuck off. Like I was so mad at myself because you just want the like final last word, and I mean, yes, I know I do,
and you want it to be spelled correctly.
Yes. Anyways, I know exactly where I was at. So, side note, the soul number is kind of, it comes into effect, or at least it's a thought to come into effect once you really have like an awareness of what your soul literally wants and desires of you in your human form in this lifetime. What would you think? What is your soul number? I don't know. I didn't write your numbers before. Oh, if you don't mind sharing.
Oh shit, I don't know. I wrote a bunch of numbers. Fuck, I don't know.
I'll put it into the system. I can do it on this
I'll do it again. Hold on.
Okay. I'll share my numbers. I don't mind. So my life path number is a 4. My life destiny number is a 4. And then
it's a 7.
Oh.
You're okay, so your life path number is a 4, your life destiny number is what?
A 4.
I don't think mine's a 4. Forgot what it was.
It's 4, and then the day that I was born, oh my god. I feel like that we didn't talk about this one, but I think that's the karmic number. And that's a 22, but that also adds up to 4. So basically, guys, without saying too much, because I'm kind of just like waiting for it to come out on its own in terms of like who I am or like who my soul is in this lifetime. But essentially, like I have master builder energy. So that makes a lot of sense.
Is that like BDE?
Thank you. That's a compliment.
Is it?
Yeah, I love BDE. But yeah, it's like it makes sense because I quite literally in my line of work build systems. Like I build like data management systems. I build shit. So there's like thoughts that I feel like that's actually a strength where if I have an idea and I can kind of see it to it being created in like a 3D form. And then yours is a 7, so that makes a lot of sense, Nichole. I feel like that for you means spiritual.
Well, it was a 7. I don't know what it is now. That was
your birthday. For marriage.
Birthday.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Then we got to get to the recurring numbers because I know people are wondering about that. And again, you guys, this is just Pythagorean theorem. Like we could hear Pythagorean numerology. Good lord.
Okay, are we going to have time to go through what each number means?
Yeah, I'll give you like a quick synopsis. I'll do quick hitting numbers.
Fuck.
Quick adjectives. Can I do a strength and weakness for each number?
Yes.
You know you love that. Oh, and then there's planetary links to these numbers too, you guys.
My soul number now is a 9.
I still think that's like enlightenment and ending of cycles, but honestly, I think that that's kind of like the generational cycle that you're ending within your lineage. That makes sense with your Chiron placement, right? We talked about that. We'll talk about that offline. Anyways,
I don't speak astrology still.
You will. Okay, do you want to talk about recurring numbers though?
Like 111, 222s.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. And then we'll post these on like little pictures because I always find those really helpful.
So 111, new beginnings. 222, partnership and alignment. 333, your angels are with you. 444, karmic lessons. 555. I would say that's kind of like
new beginnings, right? Things are changing.
Yeah, and I want to say like that's like the adventure number. I always associate that number with like Marilyn Monroe energy. 666 is healing. 777 is 7's the most spiritual number aside from 11. I would say that's more like enlightened. Spiritual. I see a lot of people learning a lot when they're in a 7-year, or even like writing books. People do that in their 7 years in 7 energy. 888 is fucking money, power, success, sex, drugs, rock and roll. I'm all about the 8s. And then 9s are ending the cycle. So next year, you and I are going to be in a 9-year, which I think is really interesting. So the last time we were in an 8-year, so think back to 9 years ago, so that'd be 2015, right? Yeah, I think it's 2015.
2014.
Was it 14?
2014. Mm-hmm.
Was it 2014? So do you see recurring themes playing out in your life and then? Because I feel like I have, because that's right around the time that I made a major career shift.
Got a new job in 2014.
See? Well, look at us just getting new jobs in these years.
I ended a long-term relationship, so I hope I don't repeat that because I love my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Want to stay with that man forever.
You know what I also realized when I'm in an 8-year? I always put on weight. I always put on some kind of weight in an 8-year. So fucking annoying.
Yeah. Same,
okay,
yeah.
so,
I feel like I put on a bunch of weight after I lost a bunch of weight. That's all back.
not all of it, but that actually, so you had a transit, you had Saturn crossing your ascendant, and when people have that transit, they tend to lose a lot of weight. Adele had that transit, and she lost a lot of weight.
Well, how do we get it back?
Well, you're about to have a baby, so we'll talk
yeah, but
about
like before the
later.
baby.
We'll have to look at your chart. But I wanted to tell you, because the whole point was me bringing it back to me, because we're talking a little narcissist over here. I have that transit next year, so I'm curious to see how that transpires for me. Mm-hmm. And my teacher, I hope so. Fuck. My teacher that had that transit, he was like, when I had that transit, I literally dropped. He said it was something crazy, like 20 pounds in like a month. I was like, what the fuck? This is not healthy. Yeah.
You know what? I remember you talked about it. We gotta hear this. This was supposed to be 40 minutes.
This was supposed to be a short episode. I know.
I remember you. I mean, you kind of said it for most people. It's gonna be like a hot girl, hot boy summer.
Oh yeah.
My husband has been looking so hot lately. I'm like, every time I see him from afar, I'm like, wait a minute, you look so hot. Like he's just
shrinking.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Well, now that I have his information, I'm not looking at his chart. So
he is. He goes, yeah. His trainer. He goes, yeah. He told me I was looking hot.
Don't tell
him. You are.
Does he know that like when the partner gets pregnant, men put on weight too? There's like a
I'm not going to tell him that he will like refuse to let that happen. He'll just ignore me. He'll be like, nope, not me, not here. I'm going to be one of those hot dads at the park.
All right. Well, it happens to everyone. So, okay. So you wanted to go over the meanings of each number, strengths.
Yeah, what are each numbers? And then I got to go parent for a little bit.
Okay, so we'll make it quick. I feel like you learned a lot in this episode, yeah? I see you taking notes. Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm always taking notes. Brianna, I'm not always looking at my phone, okay? Sometimes I'm taking notes. A lot of times I'm taking notes.
This is for you,
Bestie, I'm taking notes. That's why I have so many questions.
So the one is, archetypally speaking, is seen as the independent person, and one strength. There are very many ways to describe each of these numbers, but for the sake of time, we're just going to use one adjective and strength and weakness for each number. The one is typically seen as independent, and a weakness of the one could be domineering.
Two
Like
I need to have some ones in here.
No, maybe I don't know. Let me know. The diplomat is number 2, which when I think of the 2, because I just associate 222 energy in general with like partnership and balance and alignment. I always think of like the Libra scales in astrology. So it's seen as the diplomat, and one strength is that it could be harmonious. That person could be harmonious, and a weakness could be that they're insecure.
Okay.
3 is the creative person. I see this as like the sunshine number, and one strength of a 3 is that they're imaginative. Actually, I know a lot of 3s. I get a lot of clients that are 3s. somewhere in their configuration, and they actually really are creatives. It's just really cool to see. And then a weakness is that they can be flighty. Then we have the 4s. Hey, shout out to your girl, aka me.
And
they
me.
are
the OG, the fucking OG 4.
She's so spicy today, you guys. Can you tell? The down to earth person. I like you too. The down to earth person. Reliable as fuck. So we're just gonna like plug the 4s because that's what we are. Fucking get shit done, okay? You need a task done, we're gonna get it done. A strength is that we are reliable and trustworthy and loyal and conservative and organized and consistent and responsible.
1 adjective, Gabs. 1.
Okay. Weaknesses: stubborn, antagonistic, righteous. Ooh, I don't know. Narrow-minded, pessimistic, intolerant, inflexible. Okay. Do you know this word? Because I didn't know this word. Pedantic. Oh my god, I can't talk. Pedantic. You know we love words.
No, but what does that mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
Oh, let me look it up.
Okay, should I move on to the 5 while you do that?
No, it's fine. We'll just edit it. Pedantic. Okay. What does it mean when a person is pedantic? Pedantic is an insulting word used to describe someone who annoys others by correcting small errors, caring too much about minor details, or emphasizing their own expertise, especially in some narrow or boring subject matter. 100%. We're fucking annoying. Okay, number 5.
Oh, wait, I actually wanted to share one fact about this because Uranus is such a significant placement in your chart. And because Uranus retrograde, or yours is retrograde, and it links back to Atlantean lifetimes. And each of these numbers are associated with a specific planet. And the number 4 is associated with the planet Uranus. Isn't that cool?
I don't know what that means, but I heard it come up another time, so it must mean something.
Yeah. So number 5 is the adventurer. I see a lot of like 5s. They deal with escapism like a lot. But one strength is that they are quite literally a free spirit and are adventurous. And a weakness is that they can be compulsive and unpredictable. I know that was 2, but I felt like I needed to speak to those. Number 6 is the carer, and the strength is that they are quite literally family-oriented, loving, caring. Weaknesses is that they can be overprotective or smothering. What? Are you 6? You're laughing.
No, when you went to like the first part of it, I was like, oh, that sounds like my husband. What his numbers are, but I'm curious now.
Do you know his middle name? I know that's a weird question to ask.
He doesn't have one? Oh, well, no, actually he does.
Okay.
Kind of. Yeah. You know how those Mexicans do it.
Yeah, seriously. We don't even do it right in the States. Like, we're supposed to take, like, our mom's maiden's name as our last name, right?
Yeah, he does. No, his mom's maiden name as, like, a middle name.
Middle name? Well, what's the last name, then?
Your father's last name.
Oh, man. Someone correct this. I feel like I heard that differently, but someone send us a DM if you know, because I could have sworn I had this conversation with Mom about that, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Interesting. Okay, so 7 is the thinker, and a strength is that they are analytical, and a weakness is that they could be skeptical. Also, I didn't mean
That's us too, right?
You're the 7, I'm not.
Oh, I'm totally a 7.
Also, I didn't mean to discredit that. I actually really genuinely heard Mom tell me that I think it's like the last name of the mom in Mexico that I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's usually you get the middle name of the mom, I'm pretty sure.
Well, stand by, guys. We'll follow up on that one.
Let me ask my sister-in-law. She'll know.
Okay. So, the 8 gives me daddy vibes. Daddy is just a word in my vocabulary.
Oh, I have an
now.
8.
You have an 8?
Personal year 8.
Yeah, we're in a personal... Yeah, this is our... Are we living our true personal year 8, Nichole? Because I feel like we've gotten a lot of shit done. I am proud of us, but it's been a lot. So the 8 is the business leader, and it's linked to the planet Saturn. I feel like we needed to add that just because Saturn's daddy, and Saturn is the shit in the zodiac, and that makes a lot of sense that it's associated with just boss energy. So a strength of an 8 is that you are driven and goal-oriented, can be ambitious, and the weakness of the 8 is that you can be a little bit intolerant, opportunistic, detached, and overly materialistic.
Sorry, what number was that?
That was an 8. Then we have the compassionate person, which is the 9. And the 9, a strength is that they are quite literally wise, responsible, compassionate. And the weakness is that they are critical, melodramatic, and argumentative. Is that you?
Yeah. Oh, she said they get their last name.
That's what I thought, right?
Interesting.
Is it the mom's maiden last name?
Yeah, I said, do the kids get the mom's maiden name as their middle name or last name? And she said last name.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Interesting. So what do those machismo men think about that?
I don't know, but I hope that machismos are a dying breed. We didn't even talk about the master numbers. We need to talk about that because that's important because we have them. So these numbers are, how do I describe master number? It's kind of like a higher vibration. So like you have a 1, but then it's like if you have the 11, that's like a higher vibration of the 1 or even a 2 because it's added 1 plus 1 equals 2. And then you have, I hope I explained that right because it makes sense in my mind. Then you have the 22, which is the master builder. And then you have 33. So like 3 and 3, that's a 6. It's a vibration of that number. They're all kind of connected, but they're just kind of put on like another level / pedestal. But the exceptions, so it's literally just 11, 22, and 33. Those are considered the master numbers, right? So yes, the 11 is considered a higher vibration energy of a 2, and it's considered the most intuitive of all numbers. And this number thrives on nervous energy and stress. Then you have 22, which is us, and it's a higher vibration of a 4, and it's a highly action-focused number as well. And they're often driven to build, pay attention, Nichole, because this is us, often something of benefit, and we are natural leaders. And we are able to think outside of the box and are commonly very successful in our career and personal lives. And then 33 is actually really rare. I haven't come across many that I think I've come across like 1, but it's the rarest, I would say. And there is debate as to whether or not it exists as a master number, but it does have a higher vibration and energy of a 6. And these people with this number are often highly creative. They tend to seek to use their creative abilities to heal others, either holistically, artistically, or medicinally.
So plot twist, she just gave me an example. So it looks like it's hyphenated, but the mom's name is first. The mom's maiden name is first. And then the dad's name.
Yeah, dad.
So it's a hyphenated name, not a middle name. So it would be like, John Doe's mom is Jane Smith. So it would be like John Smith -Doe.
So dad, his middle name is
his mom's maiden name.
But he doesn't have a hyphen. Right? So that makes sense.
Right. So that's why I thought it was middle, but so I guess it just depends if they hyphenate them or not.
Maybe they just like dropped the hyphen when everyone moved to America.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's what I got for you. What are your thoughts? It just adds like a whole nother layer of complexity to it in a way, don't you think?
So what would be the benefit of someone knowing their number?
So I think it's important to know, like, you have your life path number, right? So that's like literally, if you understand the essence and the vibration of what that life path number is, what skill sets are associated with it, you have that already available to you, right? So you can carry out and use those strengths and weaknesses to the best of your ability to live your life, right? Then you have your life destiny number, and that's kind of like what you grow into over the course of your lifetime, the essence and the vibration of that, right? The personal years, I think those are important to know as well as the personal months, because then you have an idea of what type of energy is available to you in that respective month. So, for example, you and I are going into 8 months, and at the time of this recording, we'll have dropped in 8 months. Sorry, we'll be in the 8 months. So that would be a really good time to you're about to get a new job, but me looking for a new job, asking for a pay increase at work, having some type of sale within your business, and finding new ways to make money because it is going to come to you. And it's actually a little bit wild because you'll start to feel the energy of that month. Like even today, it's the last day of August at the time of the recording.
Thank God. Fuck this month.
So
not fuck this month, fuck today, but not fuck today because it ended really well, but today was really hard.
No, it was the energies after. Shout out to all my astro babies out there. After this Venus Cazimi that took place, I think it was the second week of August. Everything just kind of the fog was lifted, but it kind of fucked me up. There were 6 planets retrograde. I think there were a lot of people going through it, and I think us as intuitives and just sensitive people, we feel what's going on. So fuck
so
August.
much. Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, we're already feeling the essence of the 8, and I've been honestly waiting for this energy. I also want to add that in November, December, and even a little bit of October, we will start feeling the energy of the next year that's coming up. So we will start feeling into the essence of 2024. And in my mind,
it's gonna be amazing.
I think so. Yeah, I'm saying that in my mind, the year is over. End of October, Halloween hits. Year's done.
Happy New Year.
Seriously.
Okay, so it would help someone just to understand those things, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. We'll post the angel numbers or the repeating numbers, right? The 111s, the 222s. We'll post that. We'll post if we can find some charts so that way people can reference it, the alphabet, instead of having to write it all out like I did one day. I literally wrote out the alphabet. And then there was something else I think I wanted us to post. If you can, something that explains again what the life path number is, what the personal year is, just so that way they have the visual of oh yeah, that's what these things mean. That'd be good.
You know what? I feel like I could probably especially since I'm restructuring the business, make a couple posts. I need to make more content.
I was just thinking that. I was she should just make these in Canva.
I should just make, literally. So, don't do that, guys. We got a lot of shit to do.
Get to work this weekend.
Long weekend ahead. That was fun.
That was fun. That was a lot longer than we thought it was going to be. But
I know it. I texted her and I was like, I think we got a 30-minute episode, 40-minute max. Lies.
I was like, cool. Fucking lies. Tangents left and right.
Yep.
We hope they're still with us. Okay. That's it, guys. That's all we have for now. Stay tuned. I'm so excited for spooky season. So excited for spooky season. And just all the cool interviews we have coming up. We have a lot of cool interviews. And then we're not going to do any interviews in October, but hopefully some collabs. Mm-hmm. And that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See you guys next time.
Thank you.
Bye.